You're listening to Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brian.
I'm Clyde.
Oh, you're Joey, and I'm Jazz.
This is episode 148 of Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt. Come on along, everybody. Spend the next hour or so with us talking about gravel bikes, adventure biking, bike packing, bike camping, gravel races in Pennsylvania. We love talking about gravel races in Pennsylvania, don't we?
I refer to them as gravel events.
Events? I think that probably is a better
We finished in the last
word.
10%, all of us.
Hey, you strap a number on me, I'm racing.
I'm racing to beat the Lantern Rouge.
Or we're just going to play bikes. But before we get started, just like we did last week, and I'm so excited to be able to do it again this week.
Dun, dun, dun.
Thank you for the sound
You are
effect.
so welcome.
Episode 148 is sponsored this week by Cutaway USA, premium cycling apparel born in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Cutaway combines innovative fabrics with clean, bold design. Make sure to visit their website to see all the jerseys, bibs, neck gaiters, other cycling apparel, t-shirts, tech tees, gears, you name it. And while you're there, make sure to check out their new Pro 4 cargo bib that is designed. I mean, it literally has gravel adventure riding written all over it. No, it doesn't literally have it written
I was
on it.
going to say, like,
It's
is it really
made for
written
it.
all over? Like a...
And I was on their website today, and everybody needs to go there and check this out. They have a really nice, small, but really cool library of gravel routes in their backyard. It's a hidden little gem of great adventures that I think that's kind of cool, that it's not just e-commerce they're doing. They've actually kind of put some stuff
awesome.
there for the community.
It's D-commerce.
Yeah,
F-commerce.
it's there. You go. EF. Yeah, whatever it is, go
Education
check it
first.
out. Cutaway USA. So, if you missed the holiday sale last week, which was a killer deal,
Yes.
especially when you combine the code that you could get through us on their website. If you missed it, I've got a new code for you this week, and you can take 15% off everything on the store with the code GRAVEL15. I sure hope that's accurate.
All capitalized.
All capitalized, all caps. GRAVEL15. Gravel 1, the number 1, and the number 5.
Yep.
Use that at checkout. So what are you guys drinking today?
I just opened a Dogfish Head Campfire Amplifier Ale. It is a stout with a bunch of bull crap in it to make it taste like s'mores, but it doesn't taste like s'mores. It just tastes like a nice stout.
Cool.
With a little smoky, marshmallowy flavor.
It is stout season, isn't it?
And it's in my beer
It
sign.
sure is.
Your buddy over there. I'm having iced tea from Roy Rogers. Joey and I had dinner at Roy Rogers tonight
That's
together
so nice.
before
That's
we came
so
here.
nice.
It was romantical.
Was
It
it?
was.
Was it candlelit? Because most of our meals are candlelit.
No, they didn't have candles in the
They didn't have
things.
candles. They had a candle thing, but they didn't have a candle in it. So it was.
Then there was
wasn't
some
candlelit.
lady who I couldn't understand if her T-shirt said something about being racist or sarcastic. I just
Poor Joey.
I was like, oh no.
I told him, I said, I was not spending enough time staring at the front of her sweater to tell what it said. But we had a great conversation about what her sweater may or may not have said.
Yes.
So
It was a sweater or a
Oh.
t-shirt. Like, that's a big difference.
it was like a sweatshirt kind of thing going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like an ugly Christmas sweater that was
No.
just...
So I saw this today on Facebook. Speaking of stouts and porters, Velo Pigs, which
Yep.
is that little group, not little, but it's the group over in Northern Virginia,
Yep.
does all that gravel stuff over there. They've got a beer release at the Bike Lane Brewing that's coming up. I think it's December, like it's a Thursday.
Yep.
So that would be December 9th, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I thought it looked cool. It looked
Nice. That's
because
awesome.
Bike Lane is right on WNOD,
Yeah.
the bike
Oh,
trail
yeah.
right there. So check that out if you're a Velo Pig person or curious about that. Then if you're Velo Pig curious, you can go check that out on their website or wherever. I don't know. Who wants to go first tonight?
I was going to say something cool, but
Nose goes, you can go, honey.
I don't really have a lot to talk about.
Oh, here we go.
However,
every time he starts with, I ain't got much
Ladies
to
and
talk about.
gentlemen, just take, make sure you have nice popcorn next to you.
all right. Well, you two talking now
No.
takes up more of my time,
Okay, go
so
ahead.
that my time goes long.
Okay.
That's all I got to say about
We're
that.
going to be quiet now.
No, I was say my December's getting pretty packed. We need to figure out like our annual NCR CNO style. What weekend day? What day we're gonna do it? Boxing Day, Why don't we do Christmas Day? No traffic.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
Anybody who doesn't want to be around their
Peace
family,
out, family.
we don't have kids.
should just go.
We have a beautiful dog.
We have our dog. He could go. I'll get a trailer. We're in our 30s. I mean,
Yeah. I would think you would bling break.
We're truly millennials. Like we have a Fitbit for our dog that
Yeah.
tracks him and everything.
Chris, I got a message Chris Howell, but he was asking me what tracker we got, and I told him the 5, and I was like, we've had it a week, and he's like, oh, that sounds like a great long-term review. So
people get us.
it is. Like I was talking to Paul today, it's like Strava for dogs.
No way, really?
Oh, yeah, there's
100%.
Can you actually though link it to Strava? Because that would
No,
be super
Instagram.
cool.
But you can
But
literally get Instagram.
Yeah, it's like a social media platform for dog people, for dogs,
Cool.
for tracking.
But
and stuff.
today, I was teaching, and my phone notified me that Joey was at blank, blank, blank Solomon's Island Avenue, and Blake was there without his owner. So I texted Joey and I said, "Are you with Blake?" Because it says it was without his owner, but then it said that he was with Joey. So I felt much better that he did not get loose from the bike shop.
That's right, because Blake went into the bike shop today.
Blake worked. I told Blake he has like a couple day test period, before he earns a wage.
How'd he
It's
do?
A quarter an hour.
How'd he do?
He did pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't go out the door. He does like to hug people, which I'm working on.
Yeah.
But it's truly like a hug.
It is.
It's not like I'm gonna jump on you and rip your face off.
He comes up to you and he gets up and he puts his paws around you.
It does. It is really
In fact,
cute.
I think when I came in tonight, I called it a hug.
Yeah,
It's like
I
hug
was
time.
like, you can hug me now?
Hug time. Hug
No, I
time.
did pretty good. It was, like I said, his first full day.
You know that Blake has an entire section in the show notes.
Yeah.
Did you know that? He says, wolf bark, no balls in the house is a crappy rule, and he doesn't like it. And there are squirrels outside. Why is this acceptable? Those are the things that Blake had me
you see the line of tennis balls we have out front that are airing out because of all of his slobber?
slobber.
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
Yeah.
He's on the couch.
He's just laying down.
He likes to lay down by himself.
So he's 2 years old, but last night we were on the couch at 7 something. He just walks upstairs and went into bed.
He just like, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we had to pull him down.
Peace out. Like, I'm going to bed. Yep.
Wow.
He's gonna be tired today because he had a
Smart
full
boy.
shift at the shop without naps. So
Cool.
Well, we know that because our thing tracks how many naps he takes during the day. So
You're kidding me.
No, I'm joking.
Oh, God.
um,
Oh, man. We're getting one of those beds that does that. The smart beds. That,
Yeah.
Like tells
Yeah.
you how long you sleep and how restful
That's
your sleep
awesome.
was and all that kind of stuff.
no, I don't really have too much to talk about.
Have you got the shop all decorated for Christmas?
No, I forgot. I've been busy.
I walked in today and I was like, where are all your Christmas decorations? There's one Christmas decoration.
That his aunt sent him. It
Excuse
was
me,
like a
a
bike.
holiday,
All right.
holiday
To be
decoration.
fair to you curmudgeons, all my Christmas decorations burned in the old store.
You need to put up a sign that you're accepting donations.
No, I'm just gonna go buy some new stuff.
Everybody will bring you their old, worn out,
No.
run down Christmas decorations.
I would
You know-
love a nice Christmas tree.
Do you
but
know that's what they do at the dump?
Yeah.
That's all the Christmas decorations that are set up at the dump when you drive through. They're things that people have brought there to throw away. They take them and they pull them out of the trash. They set them up and then they throw them away after Christmas is over.
Wow.
That's nice.
It's actually pretty cool.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I got a new bike. No,
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's my news.
Oh yeah, that's your new. So I didn't get a new bike.
So
Although I got a really pretty frame today.
Yeah,
Not mine,
that
but
was.
stored in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is on the website now, but the box just says color number 1.
You
It doesn't
can't,
give the color.
but suppose it's different colors depending upon where how you're looking at it.
Well, it has one of those stupid specialized like color descriptions.
Are
with,
you
like,
allowed
7
to
colors.
talk about this frame?
Yeah, why?
Oh,
It's for
I didn't
stock.
know. I didn't know.
No.
What is it? What was it?
The
Tell everybody
Tarmac
what.
SL7 54.
And it's like a green, and then
Green,
you turn it,
gray,
and then it would be black and
purple.
purple.
It's beautiful. We're wrapping up, putting stuff together for our grand opening, which is next Saturday.
11th.
So 8:00 ride. Brian's leading it. No, I'm just kidding. Brian might not attend.
I
But
have
the,
some conflicts, so
8:00
my
ride
best.
till about 9:30, and then we're having a shop party from like 10 to 2 or so or whatever. I'm waiting for David to get back from Wahoo because I think they're shooting out in the morning. So I might have the big Wahoo van, and crew from like noon to 5 or something whenever they show up. They're up in northern Jersey, so who knows if they'll make it out alive.
So big shindig. Big shindig.
So I got some stuff today for the 12 rides.
Okay.
And then I got to go through that with you. And then I got a bunch of stuff for giveaways from Specialized. I'm going to get some from Wahoo.
You're going to have giveaways at the grand opening.
I got some like nice pumps.
Save
I got
some for
lights.
me.
I got tires. They're giveaways, Brian. You have to be there. Helmet, tire. No, I don't think I did. Helmets are tougher.
Nice.
Yeah.
Big party.
Apparel.
You going to be there?
No, I'm going to our niece's birthday party.
Oh, that's right. I knew that.
Yeah,
I knew
yeah,
that.
It's
yeah.
all about my good buddy David Brinsfield's coming Friday.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're going to turn this house into a rager.
Oh.
No, I'll probably drink and watch Hamilton Friday night. Just enough so he can wake up and do the ride at 8 o'clock.
That's perfect. That's always good.
And, yeah, I think that's my section.
Okay.
No, but what I do want to refer to when you're talking about racing at the beginning, like if you looked at our unpaved numbers.
Oh, yeah.
For no offense, you for the 120, you're like the last 10%.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, me and Marcus were like the last 10% for the 90. And I mean, Larry was like up here, but
my goal, and I said this from the beginning, my goal when I went in there was to finish that full pull.
I wasn't even going to make it through 40 on that one. So I'm glad I did 90, but like mid dirty chains, the mid pack media, we're
the party pack.
We literally are the party pack.
The party pack at the back.
Yeah.
I think that's actually a good moniker, don't you?
We're the
party pack
average
at the back.
It is.
I just trademarked that.
Party
pack
don't
at
tell
the back.
Russell from Pass Less Pedal.
That's right. Oh, do they use party pack
They
at the
use
back?
party pace.
Party pace is much different than party pack at the back.
I like party pack at the back.
I like party pack at the back.
Party pack at the back.
You guys
party
should put
pack at
on
the
the
back?
back of your jerseys.
We're gonna
party
have
pack on the back.
There's going to be a sticker available
There
tomorrow.
we go.
That says
I'm ready.
Party pack
I'm ready.
in the back.
I'm ready.
Just my last thing. Did we talk about new kit stuff?
We've talked a little bit about it. We've teased that it's
All right,
coming.
so now that Philip has his cutaway stuff, so I'm working with Philip right now on our new GTD kit. Mm-hmm. So our last run, I told people this last thing I just did. I'm out of jerseys now.
That is the OG.
The OG is gone.
It is gone.
Might not ever do it again. Philip has the files. Maybe I'll
bring it back
in a couple of years from now if we're still doing this.
Maybe
but we're 3 years in anyway. But no, so I'm trying to have it. The store, I'm expecting the store in the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Really?
Well, we want to have it by Croatan.
Yes.
So it gives us the window.
Yeah.
So we're doing the whole thing. We're doing jersey, zip-up jersey, mountain bike tech jersey. I want to do a base layer, cargo bibs.
This is for the store.
This is for GTD.
GTD.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
With Philip at Cutaway. And then I think I asked for gaiters. Everyone wears gaiters now that match the kit.
Nice.
With some top. I'm trying to go where we're doing like.
You want to describe what the jersey is going to be like?
No, I want to say we're using a little bit of topo lineage for graphics, but keeping it clean because our
very
other one was
subtle.
Yeah, and then we're going with like an OD green or like a nice forest green and some browns and
maybe a little gray, a little dark gray.
Yeah,
I've been all about some dark gray lately. I don't know what it is.
I love dark gray.
It's winter, but I think marrying it with like that OD green and some darker tans. And
I actually, so if you want a hint, I sent Philip a picture of. I have those green S-Works Recon shoes. Mm-hmm. They're like marketing photo of those with. There's a marketing photo of those. I sent them
you sent that to me.
Yeah. I said, base it off of this. They match the Ridge Supply socks.
And that's the other thing. Yeah, we were going to have all the colorways.
They all tie in together
to match some Ridge Supply socks. You'll be able to pull all that stuff together and get a true GTD kit experience.
Then basically, you get your kit. You come to Croatan $150, and if you don't have your socks to match it while you're there, you pick up some at check-in.
There you go.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that. I
tying
love
it all in.
All these things together. Speaking of Croatan, $150, 109 days.
109 days till you hear me
days
yelling your name out
from today, recording date. 107 days. I don't know if I want to do this every week because
no. I'm not training for it, so you can do it all you want.
You better be.
I don't think people actually realize I am the master of ceremonies.
No, I think people believe that.
Yeah,
no, we kid around a lot. We joke around a lot, but Joey is going to be in a little red jumpsuit.
I don't know if it'd be
as
little.
the master of ceremonies with a mic in his hand, screaming out people's names as they come barreling across the line. It's going to be cool.
I'm going to have index cards with everyone's info on it.
Okay, you're going to have little bios on everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So when we sign up for some races, it says like, what do you want us to call out when you cross the finish line?
No way, really?
100%. Yep, 100%.
That's cool.
Because your number is tracked, you're tracked like with a number and everything like that. So yeah, on races, they say, what do you want us to call out when you cross the finish line?
Winner.
That's what I would put. Winner. Anyway, okay. So my big news, and I don't get to talk about this nearly as much as you do, Joey.
I don't know about that.
I did actually secure
You
via
traded
credit card.
currency, yeah.
I traded currency for an Otso working titanium bike frame and fork set that should be available for me to pick up in Pennsylvania before the end of December, before the end of the year. I am
Wow, you're going to get your new bike before I get my new bike.
very excited.
And then I get up a
about
hole
that.
in it.
Yeah, that's right. So I got
I'm building that, right?
yeah.
Where we are?
Yeah.
So
I hope.
I don't know if you're talking now.
I'm in trouble.
Does it come with a little handbook? I mean, Joey pulled apart our wash machine this
Come with a
weekend.
handbook.
I had to take apart our washer the other day.
Now I'm so excited about this bike. I went with the blue.
I thought you were going to say our washer.
No, I'm not, I don't care about your washer. Blue accents, so all the anodes and bits and parts are that sort of bright light blue kind of color, and that reminds me of the blue that I had. I had the blue on my AWOL, and I always really liked that.
Yeah.
So I kind of pulled that out. So it is bought, paid for, and awaiting delivery. Ted up at Hush Money talked to Otso. They had everything what we were looking for.
That's awesome.
Being bundled up and shipped out to Pennsylvania. So
That's
I'm
exciting.
pumped.
Is it going to come to your doorstep?
No, I got to go. We're going to go up to Hush Money to get it.
Oh.
I think, Joe, you're going to go with me, right?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't have to. You don't want to go.
It all depends. I just didn't.
His December is filling up quickly, as he says.
It is.
My social calendar.
It is.
I can pencil you in sometime.
I mean, maybe my winter trout fishing season's about to start.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, boy.
That's a whole nother thing, Jess. It's a whole nother thing.
You just flicked my ear.
I'm waiting. I thought I was going to have these before I left the house today. My Renee Hurst Barlow Pass 38 Selects supposedly arrived today. So I get to set them up on the new GRX wheel set, pull the cassette over, pull the brake rotors over, and I'm going to roll those because I'm going up Friday to do NCR for the 12 rides, which is the next thing. 12 Rides of Christmas opens December 1st, and I'm excited about that. So we'll
Awesome.
see some people.
We'll be in Memphis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Jerry said.
I'll be eating spaghetti with Chris Stapleton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jess, you're up. You got anything?
I'm up. What's on my list of things I get to talk about today?
Okay, let's see. You need new bibs.
I do need new bibs. I noticed it today when
We've been meaning to tell you for a while.
I mean, there's I'm going to tie this into my next part. There's this huge women cycling Facebook page group, and people post about all these things, and people are posting now about their see-through shorts on rides.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh my God, like I know Joey, I know I've had them before. So I'm really concerned now that it's going to happen again. But I realized when our washing machine was fixed and I was pulling out clothes this morning, that I have like 2 pairs of bibs that are ripped. I mean, they're fine for the morning.
Trainer.
They're fine for the trainer, the Peloton. However, the Peloton. However, they may not be fine for group rides. So I am going to definitely need bibs or shorts or something like that to get me through the winter on morning rides, just inside.
So tell me, what's this Facebook group for women in gravel?
Yeah,
Do you
so
know what
I
the
got
name of it is?
invited to it. I didn't even ask to be in it. I got invited to it because I was on a page called All Bodies on Bikes, women gravel cyclist, and it has 10.4K members.
Wow.
I know, right?
Right.
I posted on it and I got over 200 likes and over like 20 comments, which is just a picture of Joey and I riding our bikes inside.
Oh, it's because it was me.
Oh, yeah.
Your shirt
that
was
was a
on
nice-
this one.
Oh, you didn't post a
I didn't
shirtless?
post a shirtless
sorry.
one. It was one of you just.
You want to see a dad bod?
Yeah. But like, I thought that was awesome.
That
like,
is really
that
cool.
is a lot of people, a lot of women on this page. When I posted it, Nadine and Amanda liked it, and I was like, oh my god, of course, like they would. And I didn't know about this group, and then Alex and everything like that. So I thought it was a great group.
That's awesome.
A great group of community.
That's cool.
We were all sharing our sizes and weight and what jersey fits best, and what jerseys don't fit too well, and what jerseys you have to size up in.
Oh, awesome.
So we had a huge dialogue about that today.
That's super cool.
It is really cool.
Did you tell all them you do a podcast?
I didn't. Girls Gone Gravel does some on there, and Feisty Media does some on there.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you what, Jess. And this is where it's different. Yeah. You're the everyday.
You're the more relatable.
Honestly, I really do think that's the case. Because I mean, not to take anything away from them. They've got their own thing that they're doing, but they're coming at the world of gravel cycling from a completely different perspective than what you come at.
So you mean they don't get up at 4 a.m. to walk their dogs to be on work on time too?
I'm sure they probably don't. You've got work-life balance, and you're not racing. We were just joking about racing, but I mean, they're racing for sponsorships and for money and for a living, and I think it's a completely different perspective when you're just your everyday gal out there doing a thing that she loves to do, and it's a completely different perspective. So
it was really cool to see how many women were on that page, though. It was really I was first on a page called All Bodies on Bikes, and then it led me over to this woman gravel cyclist page. So I was really excited.
See, I've come around. Joey had to convince me to allow you to come up and skate.
Yeah. I want to take the night off. I have sub plans due. I'm taking off Friday and Monday. I'm like, oh my god! But my student made me this really pretty bracelet. Look, isn't it pretty?
Nobody can see that.
I think it's bugs. I told her.
I'm asking. Joey told me, he was like, take it off. They're spying on you. So let's. They're not wiretapping me.
Well, they'll all be just listening. They'll get bored real quick.
Yeah. They'll be like, oh, she's talking about bikes. Like, oh man.
Anything else going on in your world before we get to Christmas
I
ideas?
think that's it. I just wanted to say thanks for everybody for reaching out. So many people contact me via Instagram, and so many people liked Joey and I's TikTok we did this weekend. So it was really fun. It was fun to be off for a few days, fun to ride bikes together inside, great to hang out with the dog, great to have minimal family exposure. And then great to come home and watch some Netflix. So very grateful.
Sounds like a really nice. We didn't even talk about how everybody's Thanksgiving went.
Not enough alcohol.
Did not have enough alcohol.
I did not have enough alcohol at my disposal.
We were like, we're taking Blake out because this is very stressful and we don't want to be here right now. So, so I'm very much looking forward to Christmas, very much looking forward to 12 rides, very much looking forward to our St. Jude half marathon, which I'm woefully unprepared for, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm just really excited and grateful for all these opportunities.
That's right. Y'all are going to be in Memphis doing that.
I'm just drinking and eating.
Enjoy that.
Thanks.
Embrace it. Have fun.
Drinking and eating, getting all fat and sassy.
And there we go.
It's okay. So, Joey, last week we talked about the fact that we were going to talk about Christmas gift ideas this week. So I've put together a couple of categories. One, say, under $25, and then one, say, $25 to $75, and then maybe one over $75. Coming at it from
$24.99 count.
Coming from a shop perspective, what do you have at the Patuxent Adventure Center? This is not a commercial. This is just you're sharing your information. I think you're planting some seeds for folks because they're going to go to their
go to any store.
They're going to go to their local bike shop and get it.
Yeah. So don't go to REI.com.
Don't go to Amazon. Under $25. What you got?
All right. Well, at $25, if you like your person a little bit, not a lot, get them a Stan's Dart.
Okay.
I do not want that.
That would actually be if you don't like somebody, maybe get them a Stan's Dart.
Please do not put that under the Christmas tree for me.
Sorry, Father Dave.
We're not buying presents this year. No, you got there's some nice Crank Brother multi-tools. There's the Pedro's Chain Pig chain cleaner.
Oh, I love those.
That sits right at that price point. The Stan's Dart is $25 exactly. There's some nice water bottles. There is I would say for gift ideas, there's a lot of little things. I think my biggest under $25 though, like, is a pair of Rich Supply socks.
God, socks. You can never have enough socks.
You know, it's one of those things you hate when you're a kid, and when you get an adult, even if they're like...
I have a rule in life.
I love socks.
Okay. You know what it is? If you always wear bike socks, you never have to look for bike socks.
Yeah, have you seen my drawer? Well, I have Bumbas
That's
too.
all I've got. That's all I've got is bike socks. It's all I wear. I've got monkeys on my socks right now. I'm not kidding you. I'll show you later. Anyway, just looks at me.
I'm surprised you're wearing socks.
She sits there
staring at you like, really?
You're nuts. Like,
you deal with middle schoolers all day. Really?
Okay, 25 to 75. What do we got?
All right, if you really like your person, get them a nice Dynaplug.
There we go.
We have a butt ton in every color. I even have the meerkat pills. They have a little meerkat laser etched in on them. You can get the
you have a bunch of a buttload of plugs.
I have to transfer them down.
My goodness.
It's weird, Brian again. Yeah, treat your friends.
Treat your
friends to some Dynaplugs. You can get some nicer Crank Brother multi tools. You can. Now you put me on the spot. So between that and you can get more socks. You can buy multiple pairs of socks and a Dynaplug.
Between 25, you get a lot of socks. That's the next.
So between 25 and 75, you could treat your special person to some Nittany Mountain Works.
Oh, some bags.
Many-thing bags, top tube bags, even frame bags are a little bit more. Pierogi bags. Everyone loves colorful bags.
And you can never have enough bags.
Nope.
I do think that's true.
Even when they burn.
Yeah.
Yep.
I lost a whole set of Nittany's in the fire.
So I don't know if they Nittany people listen to the podcast. However, Joey got me a big duffel bag of Nittany, and literally today I had my laptop, clipboards, my 2 planners, and my laminator.
Now, is that the one? Does it look like graph paper? No, it's just
that's your outfit.
That is my sweater. Okay. Somebody told me my sweater looks like graph paper, and I don't comment.
What was your response back?
Thanks. Like, I don't comment on other people's clothing.
No.
I feel that's rude. I don't comment if you have weight gain, weight loss, if your shirt's ugly, if your shirt's pretty. But yet somebody had the audacity to talk about my shirt looking like graph paper.
Well, that's not under $50 or $75, but it's over the $75 mark.
No, but bags. You can never have enough bags. So you could find something that fits into that window.
Usually your local bike shop, we're working on it just because of the fire, but you can get some shop tchotchkes too, shop socks, cups, shirts, mugs, jerseys. Usually jerseys are around 75 or less.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
What about over 75?
Well, you could buy them a new bike if you want.
Ooh, nice.
Let's say it's between 75 and maybe 200. What kind of stuff?
Well,
jerseys.
Yeah, I would say
I need bibs.
You get them some nice bibs. You get them some jerseys. You can get them a lot of socks and bags. You can get them a bag like combo kit.
You could also go to cutawayyusa.com and get a gift card for your. I just threw that in there.
Your sig other.
Yeah, I would say. I'll say the under 25. I forgot too. A lot of people get their significant others like goo and nutrition stuff, which is cool. They're good little stocking stuffers.
So
over that, I mean, a set of tire it's hard shopping for some people if you really know. Like, I can buy Jess stuff. She'll never know what I bought her, but I bought her. You can get a set of tires. You can get some sealant and stuff to go. You get them like a whole tubeless setup. Like,
I just think people do that. If you have somebody in your life that has an interest and you're interested in that person. Even if you're only spending like $15 or $20 on somebody for something like that, if you get them something that actually they're going to use, like it shows that you know who they are, as opposed to just going.
That was deep.
Oh well, no.
It's true though. It's true.
If you really like them, buy them a Wahoo bolt so they don't get lost, but they still might get lost.
Why can't I live these things out? Like, why?
But you can get them a GPS system. You can get them a Zwift membership.
I was thinking about that. I have an idea for a new product that like plugs into the charging port on the Garmin, and little wires come out, and they shock the person in the handlebar when they're supposed to turn. Y'all can't see Jess shaking her head.
It kept saying U-turn, and I just honestly thought it was a glitch in my system. Like, I just thought it was a glitch.
So, or You could, at that price point, even actually go ahead and register somebody for an event.
That'd be cool.
That would be so
Unpaved,
cool. That'd be so
Lulac
cool.
Wyco Hundo,
You want to go steamboat?
Dirty Kitten, Croatan. That's that price point where you could say, you know what? Here's your entry fee.
Joey could be like,
cool.
Jess, I believe in you. I know you can do gravel worlds. Here you go.
There you go. That's it. I like it. And speaking of Unpaved, I told you guys this.
Yeah, your debit card believes in you.
I have secured our housing for Unpaved for next year.
He did.
And I got us someplace, I think that's
Shauna.
right on point. No Shauna this year.
Shauna.
So I went and I was looking and searching through Airbnb, and I found places that hadn't even opened their 2022 availabilities yet. So I found the perfect place that wasn't yet available, and I emailed the guy who owned the house, and I said, can you open these dates? He opened the dates, and I've got us a fantastic Airbnb that sleeps 7, whole house, 5 blocks from the Miller Center.
Can you send me the link to the house?
I did.
So I can vet it
Already.
Oh, you did?
Yes,
Joey
you got
was
it
sick
already.
from the COVID booster.
Yeah.
I got the Black Plague yesterday from the booster.
Heard you got the booster.
The booster
blues.
But
killed me.
I didn't understand why Blake had to be sent to his grandparents and couldn't come.
Huh?
You said Blake couldn't come in the text
Who's going to take
message.
care of him while we're riding?
He was
He-
delirious.
yeah,
in his
he
head at that
wasn't
point. Yeah, but who
just-
is going to take care of him while you're riding?
know.
We were gone from 5 in the morning till
I don't
8,
know.
9 at night.
Never mind.
Shauna can.
Shauna. Anyway.
I really just wanted you to say that again.
No, I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I feel like my Airbnb game for gravel events for 2022
On
is
point.
on point.
On
Found
point.
us that great place for gravel worlds. Now I got us a great. I even sent that to Dave, and he was like, "Oh man, that's a place I needed." So sorry, Dave.
Man,
Sorry, Dave.
Well, the hotel's a little pricey.
It's got a yeah. The hotel. I looked. That's what started it all because I was waiting for the dates.
I did see that. It was like $300 a night.
$300 a night for.
We
for
paid $300
two
a
people.
person for 3 nights.
Yeah.
In a whole house, a creepy house, but
Yeah, and I can't. How much was that house a night? I don't think it was.
it was
high
like
as the-
$15.50 for 3 full days for 6
Oh, so it was a
people.
little more than what.
No,
I
it was
just
only
got.
like. However, it came out to like $280 a person.
Yeah, this is actually going to be less.
Oh yeah,
I stayed in a hostel for $15 a night.
hostel.
I love the way you call it a hostel.
That's what happened. My friend Nadine put it in there. It was $15.
Okay,
Okay.
Strava Club, Joey. Before we
All
run
right.
out of time, then.
Callista Phillips from Frederick, Maryland, with 171 miles.
Good job, Callista.
Bradley.
Bradley.
Sorry.
Oh my God.
Bradley. I was thinking Blakey when I saw it because of my dyslexia.
Is that what you call Blakey?
Blakey? Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Bradley Hake from Dillsburg, PA, with 102.4, and Kelly Riley from Wilmington, Delaware, with
All these
92.8.
Wow, everybody's
Maryland.
pretty local. Maryland, PA, and Delaware.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Joey reads the names very, very carefully since I've known from time to time to slip something in there
Yeah.
on him. Like the old, remember when Hugh, was.
Yeah, I do have a slight form of dyslexia, so it doesn't help. And I can't see with my glasses.
So you can't
I'm
see,
really
you,
behind
can't,
the
you
eight ball.
can't read, and you're concerned that I'm going to try to slide something in
To
on
break into the top 100, you needed a 91.7 miles.
Mm.
So we're steadily charging, but not charging forward. We're just charging at 787.
Mm-hmm.
Strava.com/clubs/gravel travel dirt.
Okay, everybody, joining us now is Pat Engleman from Cliffview Productions that puts on Lacka Wyco Hundo and the Crosscut Metric. Welcome, Pat. It's so great to have you join us again. This is your second time on the podcast, right?
Yeah, thanks for having me back. It was been a while. It's been a while, but it seems like everything around now is a while from now. I was reflecting back on the first time, and it's been a minute for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of changes in my life, and there's a lot of changes in the world. So
We'll have to have
glad to be back.
him like catch up to Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was way back when Wes, because I remember trying to get Wes to understand the pronunciation of Lulac Wyco Hundo.
Yeah.
He had real difficulty with that. So, Pat,
Yeah.
what
It's Lacka Wyco Hundo.
Wyco.
And you guys, I love your whatever Marylandisms you guys throw on. I love them. But
Well,
it's-
Hey, I don't say Warsh. That's a big thing down here.
I am such a strange blend. My family's from North Carolina, and so I've got this odd blend of whoever I'm around more. It seems to like the peculiarities of my speech patterns tend to follow. So, Pat, where are you calling from tonight?
Wyncote, Pennsylvania, which is just outside of Philadelphia.
Cool. And we ran into each other at the Philly Bike Expo. That was I think probably the best part of Philly Bike Expo was getting to see people again.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It was great to be back to that. I mean, Unpaved was nice to see folks, but there was like so many more folks come in for Bike Expo, from all over the country, and it was really great to see people.
Yeah, I think we just waved at each other at Unpaved because you were going to circle back or something. It was at the packet pickup, and then we just never really reconnected. I remember, I think there was a wave involved, but I think that was it.
There was a wave. I was becoming impatient because, unfortunately, at those events, I happen to know one or two people, and Jill, who's always on your top 10 somehow, or she came over to you guys. I'm like, if I go talk to those guys, we're never gonna ride today. And if we don't ride now,
but she came over. She came over, didn't she? Yeah, she came over. Yeah. That was kind of cool.
And I was like, get back here. So so we got to go for a ride, and we got to get to dinner because I was like, we go over there. We're never leaving.
That's true.
And we already trying to leave for an hour.
That's true. So for folks that don't know you, Pat, introduce yourself. Tell our listeners a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, what makes you tick.
Oh man, that's how long do we have for this thing? So I'm Pat Engleman. I'm here because talking about Lulac Wyco Hundo. I'm a native of northeastern Pennsylvania. I moved to Philly a long time ago, but I've been I kind of still use home as the Scranton area. But
Electric City.
I have what's that? Yeah, Electric City, exactly. Yes. It's funny. I don't even watch The Office, but
everybody knows that.
Everyone knows and references it. They know Scranton, but so I've been involved in cycling for a long time. Was bike messenger, worked in shops, event promoter, and I kind of came to this a little bit naturally. I think this event promotion thing. My dad did some kind of stuff like this as well growing up, so started kind of putting this together. And I also run the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Cycling League with a bunch of other folks. But I do a bunch of stuff. My life involves cycling. I have a real job, and my job that reminds me why I don't want to work in the cycling world, and I have the other one that reminds me why I don't want to work in the education world. So I have a couple hats that I wear, but I really love this one.
So how long were you a bike messenger?
5 years.
What's your best? You gotta have a good bike messenger story. I don't think you can be a bike messenger and not have a good story to go along with it, right?
Which one do you want?
Your best one that's the one you tell at parties.
Oh man, I got a couple. I mean, my first delivery ever was an epidural needle about like 3 feet long. That was my first job I ever had. My other go-to is being given a brick of $20,000 in deep North Philadelphia. And told to deliver that brick of cash to downtown. What else? I had Eagles, like some kind of Eagles, really super fancy Eagles tickets that were in my bag, along with my water bottle that leaked all over them. And I laid them out on a counter, and I said, and they signed for it. And I ran. But my favorite one ever was we did a lot of different stuff. Like I delivered all kinds of stuff, but we delivered a lot of blood. We moved blood between. That some people don't know that in the city we move blood between hospitals all the time. And again, I guess it comes down to my water bottle, my bag for some reason. I reached in to my bag for a different job, and when I reached in, I just felt cold and wet, and I had like a bunch of blood on me as well. I was like a bunch of blood in the bag. Reached in my bag looking for something, and I felt cold and wet, and I was like, oh boy, I don't want to pull this out. I pulled it out. Luckily it was only water. The blood bags have not burst, but that was definitely one of the like slowly pulling my hand out of my bag, thinking like, what disaster do I have in my bag? But yeah, I made sure I got that blood off of me, that blood delivered as fast as possible. But,
that's a serious pucker moment right there, I bet.
Especially because usually these hospitals have requested blood from each other because they need it for surgery or whatever it may be. Like they're not just like, oh yeah, we need a couple of pints over here. It's like they need it. Like it was usually pretty intense. But I mean, all kinds of fun stuff over the years. I mean, there's plenty of stuff. But those are the three, at least as far as deliveries go. We're the epidural needle, the blood, and the brick of cash at like a place no one would ever want to go to, and especially ride the bike through.
Wow.
But yeah, I did all kinds of stuff. Delivered diamond rings. I used to go to Tiffany's and pick up all kinds of like bags of stuff and have to deliver that.
Oh, and do you usually know what it is that you're toting around, or is it just
sometimes
like,
you do? I mean, when someone hands you a little tiny Tiffany's bag and they say, like, deliver this to the Sixers. That was, I usually know. And that one was funny. They handed me a Tiffany's bag and I was like, so this is going in this bag, in my messenger bag. I was like, there's nothing else that's going to protect this. I'm like, do you want anything else? And they're like, nope. I'm like, all right, see you later. I just wanted to give you a warning that this is not going to be pretty when it gets there. It's not going to be this beautiful Tiffany's bag by the time it finally gets to the Sixers.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what sparked your interest in the gravel world?
So gravel world, I was lucky enough to be invited to. I rode on the Blanky Cycles tandem team at the Rafa Gentleman's Race one of the years, and so I kind of started doing that, and then I did Monkey Knife Fight, which kind of get me on some gravel roads, but also like where I grew up there's gravel roads quickly out of town. So already I was kind of like looking at some of the stuff that that like off-road Rafa stuff that was going on, and they were like riding road bikes off-road, and I was kind of starting to do some of that, like I said, with the tandem squad. And then we did then doing like I said, Monkey Knife Fight. I was like, oh, this is cool. I could ride my road bike on this stuff, and I should look for more of this back home. I know where this stuff is back home. I know I can go find this. And I started kind of kicking around a little bit, and I was actually where Lulac comes from. It's Father's Day weekend, probably 2012 or 11 or so, and I was going for a ride with the local cycling crew up at Harvey's Lake, and I was in a meeting at the time. I was working for the Discovery Channel, and I was in a meeting with those guys. I'm sitting in the car waiting. My bike's ready, and my kid's on, and I'm ready to go. And someone just kept talking, and the crew left. And I'm like, oh crap, now I got to catch them. And I kind of knew where they went, and I went after them. I couldn't find them at all, but I found a bunch of really beautiful dirt roads, and I kept looking around for more and more and more, and I just kept going. And I just went on my own and found a bunch of beautiful dirt roads. And I was riding at the time, these giant tires. I had 28 C's on my Indy Fab touring bike, and I was riding these gigantic tires back then and finding these dirt roads and going down all of them. And then that weekend, a Father's Day weekend, I just went out and I'm like, I know where there's some other dirt roads. I'm going to go find those. I'm going to go ride those. I'm going to ride those. And partway through, I was like, man, my friends should come here and ride with me. Like, they should really check this out, because we already do some of this stuff. We were already doing some, finding some dirt roads and riding single track on our road bikes and, like that kind of stuff. So I'm like, we should probably find some, invite some folks up here and go for a ride sometime.
So what do you think? I mean, the popularity, I guess at some point I'm going to actually stop asking this question because it's going to kind of be old school, but the popularity, where do you think the popularity of gravel cycling comes from?
I think we going to sit at a perfect nexus of like where mountain bike racing has kind of died off a little bit. And then, which was taking a lot of folks to their summers, that was like usually the summer plan was like, spring through summer was mountain bike racing. And I think that kind of died off a little bit. The crit thing is no longer a thing. I mean, once in a while you get a couple of people doing that, but I think, and I've heard a lot of people say it, of course, it's dangerous as heck to be on the road. And I think, we wanted to find somewhere new, find something different. Like I said, when we started putting 28 Cs on our bikes, or taking our cyclocross race bikes up these crazy mountains that the cross race bike was not necessarily built for, but we're like, well, we got some chunky tires that kind of look like our mountain bike, and man, I got these disc brakes now on my road bike or my cross bike. Man, I should throw myself up a mountain on this thing and see how it goes. And I think that's the advent of the technology for cross, as well as getting these bikes that are closer to mountain bikes and a little less mountain bike racing. And we went out there and then realized, like, oh man, it really sucks riding on the road. The road could be boring. It could be super dangerous. And, less folks are paying attention. Everyone's on their phone. And, the speeds are insane. So let's go get lost, and let's go get lost in the woods and see something different, something that we've never seen before. Yeah. I mean, it's just the whole idea of getting away from the cars, because, even when you encounter cars typically on gravel roads, they're moving slower because they have to move slower, and it just feels like a friendlier place. And then
all of a sudden you realize that this whole new world has opened up. And
yeah, absolutely.
Just been a super cool scene. Now, I guess, Lulac Wyco Hundo, Wyco Hundo.
So it's Luzerne, say it with me, Luzerne,
Lackawanna,
Wyoming. Those are the counties. So it's Luzerne, Lackawanna, Wyoming counties.
And the Hundo is the Hundo. Okay. I'm still going to mess it up.
It's okay. You can say it. I love hearing it. Whatever way you say it.
So between that and Crosscut, it sounds like you kind of just gave us a bit of the origin story behind both of the events. But how did they, how did they officially come into being?
They officially came into being 2013. Lulacca became a thing when I said I'm going to do this thing, and like I said, I'm going to invite some friends, and it was literally that. It was some texts, some emails, maybe Facebook or MySpace or whatever the heck it was back in 2013. Nice. But I, some of that, and telling some friends out on rides, and just said, hey, and also too, there was like a reverence for the spring classics. Like I love the spring classics, and there was a reverence for that and following along with that. And I would be negligent in my Phillyism by not talking about the Philly Spring Classic, and where it's February into March, where a local cycling legend Al runs a mess of a ride, where you go on all kinds of stuff, and he's been doing this forever. And so with Al running this Philly Classic, I was thinking like this is like a great. He does it every Sunday during the spring, like during the early spring, and it's a training series getting ready. But it's a training series, and also kind of a disaster, but it's a whole thing. So it's definitely an event. But I had a reverence for the spring classics, and I said, let's do a spring classic. And the first year we did it on Palm Sunday, and I said it was always going to be on Palm Sunday forever, and that's what we were going to do. And because Palm Sunday, of course, in Europe, those events are usually held on the Sundays, especially right around the holiday in the spring. So I wanted to do it then. So the first one, like I said, 2013, it was on Palm Sunday. And also it works out for me because I usually have a week off for spring break. So I need a week to recover after it's over. Sure. So that's why we almost always run it the week before Easter. But I need that time to get back to I used to, and now I had to change it. But anyway, I just invited folks, and I invited some folks, and we had 18-ish show up. Some people showed up that morning. We were at the Susquehanna Brewing Company, which we were the first cycling event they were the first event they ever did, because they were brand new. We'll talk about them in a little bit, but they were around for a long time as far as brewers go, but this is their first event they ever did. And the first event meaning that like we were on the back of my trunk and people handed me $20 and signed their name. Nice. and they went out for a ride, and my dad ran the rest stops at the back of his trunk, and we had some spots that we knew we'd meet people along the way, and that's just kind of what we did. So those first few folks who showed up, they will forever get entry into the Lacka Wyco Hundo for free and before anybody else. So, and it's some of the people like Celine and Dave, and Jordy and some other folks, Jill, who did it. There was, I think 18-ish started and 13-ish finished. We lost a couple people along the way.
Did Dave finish? That's all I need to know.
Dave did finish. Okay. Dave and
you don't have to lie.
Celine, of course, is the only female to ever win Lulacca. Period. Like no female has ever beat Celine. There's never been a Lulacca where a female finished before Celine.
That's a streak.
Never.
That's tough to defend after a while. I think she can do it.
Yeah,
though.
I mean,
she can do it.
Yeah, the rain year she finished ish. I don't think they did the whole 100. They did something. They stopped for soup and they were going to go watch Star Wars, but they did ride. But I don't believe there were no females to finish that year. Finish the whole 100 that year. Yeah. And if if there were, it was going to be Slim. So, yeah. But the rain year as we call it. But anyway. Those folks showed up that day. Trying to think like John, Doug, Celine, Jordy, Jason Fritchie, Tim Woods, this kid Spencer. He showed up. He was 16. he showed up, and I was like, wait, what are you doing? What do you think? Are you serious? And yeah, he showed up. He did 80 some ish miles. Brian, also known as Fuzzy, who works for Blinky now, he was there.
That's cool.
John from Fuji Bikes was there. Just a nice little crew of folks I knew, and some folks I didn't. Some folks just showed up out of the blue. One guy stopped midway and went to a mountain bike meeting, and he never showed it back up. And I was like, waiting, looking at his car, crapped my pants, going like, where the heck is this guy? And I forgot he went to like a meeting for the Trail Association like halfway through, and just like that was what he was going to do. But yeah, it's a whole thing. So we started in 13, invited some friends, and then next year invited some more friends, and now holy crap, it's like it's a thing, like it's a thing now.
So what about Crosscut? Where did Crosscut turn to shoot off a Lulac?
So Crosscut comes from it was actually held around Philadelphia for the first 2 years of Crosscut. My buddy Alex, we're total map nerds. We talk about maps. He might be more of a map nerd than I am, but he's like really into the GIS stuff. He knows his stuff. He's a computer guy. But Alex and I ride a lot together, and Alex, I will tell, he might never hear this because he's the engineer's engineer. He doesn't really, he's a quiet guy. He's just a quiet, reserved guy, and I could somehow get him to talk. And of course I can talk all day. So our personalities are great. So we go on a ride and I talk most of the time and he goes, mm-hmm. So it's great. But Alex would do some training rides, and Alex loves Lulac. Like he does love it. And our friendship kind of developed almost around it a little bit. Where we were friends before, but it kind of definitely grew over the years. But Alex had some roots that were just outside of Philadelphia, like in the Souderton area, kind of like up where he lives. And there were some dirt roads, and he took us on a couple rides, and we went out. I'm like, this is amazing. And it took me a year or two to ask him if I could make this into an event, because he's so shy, and and these roads are like these are his babies. And he knew, and I kept saying, man, this would be a great event. This would be a great event. And then finally, it took me a little while to ask him, and just out of respect for his, thing. And finally we went out for a drive one day, and I'm like, you think we can do this? And he's like, I think we can actually do this. And, nice. And Crosscut, it's funny, Crosscut, the name, we were trying to figure out a name, right? We're trying to call it something cool. And it was a little bit of a play on the hatchet that's awarded at Lulac. And like, how do we kind of connect the two, but not. And here's the curtain getting pulled back. We were on a dirt road, and there's one spot where there's like buffalo or bison, I guess, out there, and at a farm. And I stopped to take a leak. And when I went behind the bushes to take a leak, there was a saw, like a rough cut saw, laying on a pallet. And I was like taking a leak next to it. I'm like, there it is. It's Crosscut. And it just came to my mind. It was a saw laying out on this pallet. Someone was cutting wood with it or whatever, and I was like, Crosscut, done. Nice. And we called it the Crosscut Dirty Metric Century. And so it was run outside of Philadelphia. We did it 2 years in Philadelphia, and it's just small. It's really was like very small. It was also run around Labor Day, so where people are on vacation. The first year was about the real field temperature outside was like 105. It was kind of insane. And it was the only time I ever thought about canceling an event. The night before, I was like, it was like 9 o'clock, and I'm looking at the news and look at the weather and texting with folks, and I'm like, you think you could do this? And we just we went out and did it. And some people cut it short. I'm gonna make this you guys usually make it the Dave show. I'm gonna make this a Celine show. Okay. So Celine crashed somewhere out on a little bit of loose gravel on top of Mountain Mary. So Crosscut actually connects to the southern part of the of Monkey Knife Fight. So it connects to the southern part of Monkey Knife Fight. So it goes you could go from Philadelphia up to Emmaus, kind of on some of these roads. If you do some fancy dancing, you can certainly make it happen. But anyway, so on top of Mountain Mary, which is on Monkey Knife Fight, there was some loose gravel, and Celine went down, and she was fine, and she came back. But she came back to this we had like a little lollipop rest stop. You go out, Mountain Mary, come back, and you see the same rest stop again. And Celine came back bloody. Ooh. And almost no one went that way. They're like, if Celine came back bloody, I'm not going. Someone did crash it there. My buddy Glenn, who often tries to test the density of the road, Glenn did crash out there pretty spectacularly, and scared the bejesus out of some old lady who lives on the top of Mountain Mary, and with all the amount of blood he could possibly get out of his body. But Glenn's quite a guy, and he loves checking out how hard the road is.
Hey, so. you got to leave a little bit of blood behind, otherwise you weren't there, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah, he's our Tyler Hamilton, so he crashes in every race he's in.
So let's actually dive into each one of these things now. So let's get the logistics out of the way. So event dates, location, riders, caps, distances. Let's start with Lulac. You see, I'm leaving Wyco out of the whole thing. So that's the part that throws me. And you referred to it earlier just as Lulac. So you gave me free reign to just say Lulac.
Whatever you want to call it. That's fine.
So let's start there. What are the dates?
So April 24th is Lulac.
Okay.
April 24th, 2022 is Lulac. Registration opens, as always, on January 1st at 12:05
Gotcha.
a.m. So New Year's Eve, you're still out partying. We made it 12:05. A friend one time said they waited for their New Year's kiss before they registered and then had their New Year's kiss, and I said never again. It's 12:05.
Gotcha.
To make sure that doesn't happen. I'm like that's not the way that should go. So she made that change for us. So it's midnight, and I made it that time. And people are usually people go back and forth on how much they hate it. But I made it that because it's just easy to remember. It's just silly, stupid marketing. Like it's when's registration? New Year's Eve, done.
Easy.
So it's just easy stuff. And New Year's Eve, this year, of course, it's New Year's Eve is going to happen on the 31st, and it's going to be the 1st this year. So, just in case you were wondering, and Christmas is also on the 25th this year, just in case you're wondering.
Pat sliding in the dad joke there. I like that. Now, what are the caps on riders for Lulac?
So Lulac, we're going to go big again. It's going to rain because we're going big again. The last time we went big, it poured. So we're going to go back up to touching 500.
Wow.
So so we're going to go. It's funny, big is like relative terms because you look at someone like Unpaved or some of the other ones out in the Midwest, and it's like that's one of their classes. But it's I've always kind of kept it a little small. So 300, 350 has been 350-ish. But I always kept it small to my punk rock roots of like not wanting to get caught, like being out there putting on something that's kind of a little underground, kind of not totally official.
Shh, don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Don't tell anybody. There's 500 people are riding their bikes on the road, and like it's in the newspaper now and stuff like that. But don't. That's how we started. Was don't tell anybody. Like literally.
Be a great name for a race. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah. There you go. That's a good one. But I mean, I think that's kind of where it comes from. So we're gonna go back to 500. I think I got a good a plan for volunteers, which is always one of the limitations. Was a lot of people want to ride it, and having I think we got a good plan for volunteers. We're working with and some things got to be checked off, but we're working with the local mountain bike team who's near and dear to my heart, and I want to make sure they're always solvent. So we're gonna work with them to make sure that getting the kids out there and parents and other folks around, so we can make sure that mountain bike team has what they need, but they could also give back to the folks who come up there to go ride.
Joey and I are both volunteering for rides to work for rides this coming year, and we've talked a little bit about it, and I think we've kind of challenged. I don't know if we've officially done it, but challenged our listeners to actually give back a little bit and volunteer at some events. So, how many volunteers do you actually take in? What is your volunteer count?
So usually for riding volunteers, we usually leave 10 spots open for the people who want to ride along and provide mechanical support and be like officially official. To check in with me and get some tubes and get some support, and they can get the bat signal to me. We usually do like 10 or 15 of those folks. But we can always use folks who are riding and maybe their partners that need something to do for the day. We can get them out there and we can find them somewhere. And we also, it's not a whole day. Some of them are 3-hour spots. Some of them are 2-hour spots. Some of them are on Saturday. So we've always offered spots to folks who wanted to give some time on Saturday or Friday. We always have work to do. So they can come, and as long as they do, I forget the number I use, like a 4-hour shift gets you a whole ride, which is, that's like getting $20 an hour.
That's a great way to do it. Yeah, absolutely.
I'd have to check the numbers, but I think it was like a 4 or 5 hour shift of making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or helping me not lose my mind. We'll get you a ride. Just come and do it, and folks love it. Because it's it's an inexpensive way to give back, see the other side, and learn a little bit. And like you might have to move some kegs around or paint some roads, but give you some experience. And
you're a part of something, though. I think that's there's something really it kind of resonates, and I think it rings true with the gravel cycling community. Is that we want to be part of community, so. I think from the idea of volunteer, what you're saying is you can come and volunteer and be a part of the team and ride at the same time. Who would not want to jump on that? I think that's fantastic.
You're basically losing money.
You're basically losing money if you don't volunteer for Lulac.
Yeah.
Honestly, you're going to be overrun with volunteers after we take this angle and this market. You're basically,
Well, we got to make sure that those people actually show up. There's always.
Oh, it's raining. I'm not doing that.
Oh yeah, we check.
Okay, so distances and routes, and we're still on Lulac. What are distances and routes?
Oh man. So Lulac has a 100-mile. It's 100-ish. I would say 100-ish. It's 103. GPS are crazy. Car measurements are crazy, and also part of it you can't drive in a car because it's single track. But it's 100-ish. We also have a 75-ish, and we have a metric-ish. And we cut out the 50. We used to do a 50, and the reason why we cut out the 50 was it didn't get to the taco stop. Just because of the way the roads had to work out. And so you're going on this 50-mile route. And also for me, I'm all about like safety of the riders and also not losing anyone and getting people lost. And the 50 would go out to a certain point and turn back around and they're on their own. And by that point in the day, it was almost impossible to get someone back to there. So we, had people who were lost. We had people who, had some trouble. So we were able to kind of concentrate by adding those extra 12-ish miles. We can now keep our concentration on the rider safety and getting people back and providing some bailout routes or some warp zones. We have warp zones at Lulac. You know what a warp zone is?
No.
Like in Mario, and like Super Mario, you jump in the tube and you get dropped off somewhere else.
Yeah.
You jump in the truck and we'll bring you somewhere else. So you can still kind of ride. You can still finish your ride and ride in.
Do they know where you're taking them? Because that'd be kind of cool. You're jumping the truck. I got no idea where I'm going. Woo!
Yeah, exactly.
That's a whole new.
I might drop you backwards. I might drop you forward.
A whole new kind of event. It's like.
But yeah. Cool. I love I call it a warp zone instead of a sag wagon, right? So like I can warp zone you off to somewhere, put you to the top of a hill, and just let you go right back down, and then you get to ride in. Still act like you finished it on your own and ride up that hill, but it's instead of a sag wagon, we got a warp zone. So if we need to take you back to town, we'll take you back to town. But usually we try to get you back on the road or get you somewhere fun for a little while, and then get you back to where you need to go. So,
nice. So what about? Let's look at Crosscut. What's the date for Crosscut?
Oh, there you go. So the Crosscut is June 19th this year, and it's going to be based in Tunkhannock, PA. Which is you go right near it. You go through Tunkhannock on Lulac. We're gonna start in Tunkhannock and go out a little further. This is Crosscut. I almost call it Crosscut North, but not enough people remember the first two Crosscuts to call it Crosscut North. But it's now moved up to that region. Excuse me. They paved some of the roads. When I was talking about Alex earlier, they paved some of those roads, so it's not really as dirty as it used to be. So we moved it up north a little bit. And these are some of the roads that I initially explored with my dad while making the Lulac route. And these are a little further out than you couldn't possibly get to and still get back and not kill yourself. So these are, and the reason why it's 62 is that it's pretty brutal. I don't want to shortchange anyone. There's some climbing out there. And it's a little more remote than Lulac is. You can get out pretty remote, pretty far, leaving Tunkhannock. Tunkhannock is kind of like the last bastion of civilization in northeastern PA. And
Did you make that name up? Did you make that name up? Because that sounds like a made up name. What was it again? Tunkhannock?
Tunkhannock.
Tunkhannock. That sounds made up to me.
Yeah. Tunkhannock is on the Susquehanna, but yeah, Tunkhannock is a native name. Indigenous name to the area. But yeah, the Tunkhannock is a cool little town. You ride right through it during Lulac, but it's a cute little town. But after that, there ain't much.
Yeah.
So we're gonna, and we also go. So here's a name for you. The next town over from Tunkhannock, if you call it a town, is called Mahoopany, and we're gonna go to Mahoopany.
Wow.
Along, yeah, and then
I've
So
tried
we're
so
up
hard to get all my Pennsylvania names correct, and I get them in the Strava Club, and I'm trying to do my homework. And every time I think I'm getting close, somebody throws them at me, and you just threw some more at me, and I ain't got a clue.
Yeah. So yeah, it's on Canik and Mahoopany. And if you were to go north of Scranton a little bit, and you see the highway, if you're going up into New York State, you see THROOP. You know what that name is?
No idea.
Troop.
THROOP.
It's troop, not
All
troop.
Right.
It's troop. So yeah, welcome to Pennsylvaki.
That's funny, Pennsylvaki.
Yeah. So anyway, and you leave out of we call it the Great Neck of the Susquehanna. And it's a spot where literally the land goes out, makes this really cool spot. You guys will love it. Bring some fishing tackle. Cool. And you're right on a cool turn of the Susquehanna. So there's plenty of good fishing right there. We start on the gravel road at a farm. It's a preserve actually, and we go out on gravel roads, and you are climbing right out of the gate, and you're going up for a little bit, but it's not all up. There's a lot of down, but there's definitely some ups and downs, and so with that we did the 62, which is the metric, and then we have. We want to give people the option of doing like a 30-ish, so give people like a taste of gravel because
cool.
I'm a big proponent of like gravel doesn't have to be hard, gravel doesn't have to be long, gravel doesn't have to be your whole day. Right. And I think that's important. That's something that's kind of almost lost in the gravel world, where it's like almost it has to be because it's the land run, it's Unbound, it's all those things are like hundreds of miles, and it's like nah, we can go for 30 miles and have a great time. And we can go for 45 and have a great time. So that's why I want to add those in and get some people in who may be afraid of a metric or may be afraid of 100 and get them that option.
Jess was just talking about that last week. It was last week. Jess was talking about that.
Yeah.
It was just like trying to encourage people to just don't feel like you always have to do that longest distance. Just get out there and do the thing and enjoy the day.
Do a 30. I mean, like I always say my sweet spot is like 75 miles. I don't need to go 120. I got done it. It's just not necessary. I feel really good after 75, and I'm like, okay, I'm good to go home now. Yeah. But I mean, the 120, it's fantastic. It's you've done it. Some people have even done it in the mud and the rain and the cold. I don't know what's wrong with those people, but it's definitely out there. But it's not the only way into the gravel world. Yeah. And I think taking a 30-mile ride and realizing you could do that, it might take you 5 hours, but taking a 30-mile ride on gravel and going like, man, this is the best. Yeah. Now you train and now you know what to expect, and it gives you a little taste. And like, and you're still, believe me, you're still in the middle of nowhere and you're still climbing some nasty stuff, but you're only doing for 30 miles versus 62.
Not everybody wants to just dive right into the deep end of the pool, No. And if you don't have those entry points, then it ends up being sort of intimidating. And maybe that's, been a big part, of encouraging, new people to explore the sport. So I applaud you for doing that. I applaud, all the organizers out there that have taken on, because it'd be a whole lot easier to just say, we got an event and it's 62 miles, and boy, how much easier is it to plan that and execute that than it is to try to do multiples. So what's your rider cap for Crosscut?
Crosscut's at 300. Okay. So I want to keep it kind of small. I mean, small is relative, right? So, but keep it kind of small. We're going to be at this cool preserve. There's not a lot of space up there, right? There's only a certain amount of space. Maybe someday we'll grow and we can grow. There are options to grow this thing, and I would love to grow this a little bit and see what this can be, because it's so beautiful up there. It's right along the Mahoopany Creek, man. That's some trout water up there. If you guys aren't bringing aren't fishing, there's the Mahoopany Creek is some trout water. That's like the classic trout water up there. So I know Joey likes to get up to New York. You can save a lot of time by getting up to Mahoopany and throwing a line on there. He's googling right now, looking at Mahoopany Creek right now.
He's probably on it. It's exactly what he's doing. Okay,
comes right out of some game land up there. So
two more questions, and I'm going to roll them together. What does the prospective rider need to know for each of those events, and what's the best bike setup for each one of the events?
Yeah, what does the rider need to know? I think for Lulac, the rider needs to know that we're going to go back. We're going to keep with the rolling start, allowing people to just kind of go on their own. Nice. Just start between 8 and 10, and these are what times the rest stops are going to close. The rest stops are spaced at a clip that allows you to kind of survive on 2 bottles in between. And we also, like I said, we have a rogue rest stop out there as well. That's the point of no return on the metric and on the 100, and it's the split to the 75 and the 100. So all of them are kind of spaced to make sure you can survive on 2 bottles and survive on food along the way. And we also have rolling support as well. So you don't have to come with like people go out there, and I'm gonna quote Celine. When I see someone with like 9 bags in their bike, I avoid them with the plague. And so
we have a little thing in the tour world where it's like, people come out for, a short day, and it's like, what are you carrying in all those bags?
Yeah.
I don't even know what you got in. I don't know what's in there.
You have 19,000 calories, 4 tubes, a tire, like you come prepared and do your thing, but man, you don't need all that. And Lulac has a blend of I think the couple of things I would tell people is there's a blend of roads, right? You're gonna be on a road for a little bit. The most dangerous roads of northeastern Pennsylvania are the paved ones because they have giant potholes after the winter. And April is only just after the winter. Late April is still basically winter up there. We've had 32-degree snowy days up there in late April. So you can ride anything. The right bike is the one that's good. You're going to be comfortable on. You're going to be stable, and you can maintain. And it's going to be something you're going to be proud that you finished the ride on. We've had everything from single speeds to track bikes. Single speed. That was basically a track bike. We have tandem, a fat bike, and everything in between. Someone one year did it on 25 cc tubulars just to show they can. Yes, exactly. We wouldn't allow people to ride campy. Although sometimes they have a little bit of trouble when it comes to replacing parts, but we usually have a bike to hand off to some folks if we need to. So, I don't know. Ride the bike you're comfortable with, and it doesn't matter what it is. We've literally had everything. We haven't had a tall bike yet. Maybe someday we'll have a tall bike, but at this point we've had
little penny farthing action. That'd be cool.
I'm sure someone will try it.
Joey, you want to try that?
No.
Okay. Getting up some of the hills maybe a little difficult. And I also tell people, just take it easy. You don't need to go. There's no reason. And everyone, it's funny to see the folks who have been around for a while and see them come through like the single track and up through the graveyard, and they get into some spots and you see people gunning it and just running like a cyclocross race. And like, it's mile 3, homie.
But
like,
it's also June 9th. It's June 19th, so that's near longest day. You got a lot of daylight to work with.
Yeah,
a lot of daylight.
The Lulac is a little bit shorter. That's usually like a 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. But the June 19th. Oh yeah, you can be up there all day. That's gonna be a long one for those folks, and hopefully it's not 100 degrees out that day. So
you got
go ahead.
You got any shout outs for event sponsors?
Of course, always, right?
Please.
So folks that have always helped out. Of course, we would be nothing if it weren't for having the Susquehanna Brewing Company. They're not quite our first sponsor, but the one that we've been with forever, and they help us out. We usually do a packet pickup kind of thing there. Last year they had a COVID thing at the last minute, but we've been with them forever. They supply some suds for after the ride and stuff like that. Cool. But yeah, Stans, of course, has helped us out for many, many years. Richie Bikes, Reload, Nittany, Mountain Works. We have just a whole blend of folks. We're always looking for new. Cool. I may have heard you talk about Otso a bunch, so maybe there's a little turn for them. I'm working with them, but trying to work with them a little bit this year. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But we're always looking for new folks, and there's some in the works. There's some things in the works I don't want to say out loud yet, but I'm excited for. But yeah, Susquehanna Brewing Company's been with us forever. Richie's been with us forever. Reload, Stands, those folks are our old standbys, and calling them. We do a great thing with Industry 9, where Industry 9 gives us a hub set, and we get to raffle that off. So it's always been cool to see the different folks who end up with an Industry 9 hub set. They get to pick their color, their drilling, their style, whatever it may be. Cool. They get to pick their own thing. So, and then also we've had Kuat, which gives a rack away every year. So which has been great. A variety of groups, through the cycling world, and we're always looking for more and always looking for different groups to work with. But I think I did say Nittany as well. Yep. So yeah, Nittany's also there. So yeah, it's always been great to have these partners. And also the cool thing is most of them, they're out riding, right? Like, so last year, we had Rothrock Coffee came through big for us last year, and we're out there riding with Jamie Bestwick, and Jamie was the UK BMX Olympic coach. So you're riding out there with like not only besides the 14 gold medals in the X Games that he has, he was ends up going on to win double gold for the UK BMX squad. He was our coach. So I mean, and he's Rothrock Coffee, so he came through big with us and brought some other goodies to pass along. So
cool.
It was cool to have him, and so that was someone new. I kind of invited him and asked him if he wanted to come out. Saw that he was because he's doing backflips on his gravel bike, and I figured might as well have him come out. So I don't know if you've seen some of Jamie's stuff, but yeah, he could backflip his. I think he's on a Pinarello these days, but he could backflip that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He passed you at Unpaid, just so you know. You just didn't know it was.
I'm sure.
World class BMXer.
I got passed by a lot of people at Unpaid. So line up. If you want to pass Brian. So how can folks find out more? Website, Instagram, Bike Reg, where are we at?
Yeah. So Bike Reg, LLWH V10. This is our 10th year. We kind of, although COVID canceled us, that was supposed to be year 8. So yeah, this is year 10. So we're still going with it. It's year 10. The 10th time the ride is, the 9th time the ride has happened, 10th year for the ride. So
I'll make sure to put links to in the show notes to the Bike Reg.
BikeReg.com, and then Cliffview Productions. .com is where you can also find more information about Crosscut. There's actually a cool deal going on where you could get Crosscut and Lulac all in one, and you get a discount on both. I guess depending on how you do the math, but you get a discount on both if you were to register for both at the same time. So, and one of the things, if I could,
sure.
Want to share one of the things I've done. It was kind of induced by the pandemic, but also. As much as I feel like I'm part of the race to the registration crew, I've unfortunately have built that with other rider races or other rides. I have now we started a thing where we have the Lulac Golden Ticket, and what the Golden Ticket is, it's 5 years of Lulac and Crosscut, and it's a 5-year plan. You get both rides for all 5 years for $500.
Wow.
And so, which is a great deal. And that's, we use that during the pandemic to kind of keep solvent a little bit. When you refund a few hundred people, it doesn't make things easy. There's still bills to pay. So we did that, but it's a great way to guarantee yourself to get in. And also they're transferable too. So if you were to get all 5 years and like year 3, you're like, oh my God, I'm on a baby, I can't go. Just move it on to somebody else. So it's a really great deal. It's just
that's a great idea.
An opportunity.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. So someone wants to support small business, and also they love that ride, and they're like, okay, do I have that extra $100 sitting around? I know it's not for everyone, but it's definitely a way. If you have the cash, it's a way to save some ducats.
You have a limited number of those, or is that something anybody can just go grab?
I do like 10 a year.
Okay.
Kind of throw 10 out, but I'm not going to say no to 11. So,
you heard it here first, folks. Go get your golden ticket.
Yeah, and there is. I'm still. I got to finish it off, but we're going to have a special prize for the golden ticket folks. So they're gonna have something that's very limited to them. So. We're solidifying that still. It's been a little bit in the works, but
just give them upgraded parking. Everybody loves upgraded parking.
That's a thing now, huh?
Upgraded parking.
If you want to upgrade parking, you can volunteer. So it's always something. So
listen, Pat, it's fantastic to chat with you, brother.
You too, guys. Although Joey's been quiet. I think he's looking at my hoop and he tweaks.
I did look at it.
Joey is always quiet during the interview portions, and I always
you're like the natural interviewer.
And he told me that the other day. He said you do the homework, you do all the. He said and
you got the face for radio.
I'm just here for it, and you know the drill, Pat. You know what's coming next, this or that. So you're sticking around, right?
Of course.
Okay, here we go. First item up, and Pat, I'm going to throw it over to you. Then I'm going to give my answer.
First?
Yep, you go first, and then Joey is last in line because Jess is gone upstairs.
Probably on TikTok, not even going to sleep.
No. Christmas Vacation or Elf?
Christmas Vacation. Come on, not even a chance.
I do love me some Will Ferrell. I would go Christmas Vacation.
No, you were gonna say Elf until we both shook our heads.
No. I mean, because there's just so much that comes out of all of the vacation franchise that, and very little of Elf but I do enjoy Elf.
A lot of comes out of Elf.
I mean, I know him. Okay, Joey, what's your choice?
Oh, Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, so it's a unanimous.
But I only like Christmas Vacation and the one where they go to the amusement park, Wally World.
European Vacation is kind of weird.
I never saw the other ones.
Yeah, that's the step.
We always watch Christmas Vacation the night of Thanksgiving. Kicked everything off.
Let's see. What do you have a go-to?
Refer to you all the time.
Pat, do you have a go-to like Christmas movie tradition thing that you always do? I have one. We always do.
Not really. I mean, It's a Wonderful Life, of course. You know, like if it's on, you got to sit and watch it for a little while and be confused as to what the heck's happening where you're at. But yeah, that's probably it. I think there's a couple of stations that play it, you know, the whole way through. Or yeah, that's probably the one. I know my family does enjoy that one. I'm usually traveling on Christmas, so driving around all over the place trying to get to where I'm going. So
we do White Christmas. That's
good.
Okay,
yeah, for a Bing Crosby fan.
And there's actually a lot of fun stuff. Once you've watched that for like 7 or 8 times, there's stuff that comes out. Have an apple.
A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Christmas Story is a classic.
That's one of the.
I was gonna say, and I'm not gonna kill you or this or that, but Elf or Bad Santa.
Well,
we were talking
yeah.
that the other day at the shop.
Yeah. Okay. Second item on this week's This or That. And Pat, I'll put you on the spot. Lulac Wyco Hundo or Crosscut?
I've been loving the Crosscut. I gotta tell you, it's there's some beautiful. It's also I've done Lulac 1,000 times. You know, I grew up in those roads. You know, I grew up riding those roads. So the Crosscut, the Mahoopany Creek, man, that Creek Road, the Fox Hollow. I mean, like, if the Chef's Kiss weren't so overplayed, I'd probably Chef Kiss the Fox Hollow spot on Creek Road. So yeah, Crosscut 100%.
Having done neither one of them and hoping to eventually check that off the bucket list here, I want to go hardcore with Lulac, just simply because I just love the name. It's the name, Joey.
Oh, yeah.
It's the name. It's all in the name. Joey, where are you at?
Crosscut sounds like a blast.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Which one?
And then I go fishing.
Which was the one that had tacos?
Lulac.
Lulac has tacos.
Because you had me at tacos. That was
Tacos is the spot. It's crucial. So real food on rides. So
you're gonna have to listen hard to this or that, because I don't want it to be confusing, but it's a really good one. So you come across a road closed sign. Do you go exploring on it, but you know that if it goes wrong on you, you got to ride pavement? Or do you play it safe, assuming a shorter hero gravel section?
Seek, find, ride.
I knew that was coming. I'm right there with you. I can't tell you how many times you come across that, like, this road closed, no matter where you are. It's almost like an inviting, like, come,
yes.
see what's behind here. So.
Yes, please, let me go. Am I going to crawl over some plumbing, or sewage work? Sure, whatever. Seek, find, ride always.
Joey?
It never goes right for me when I go past a sign.
Really? I mean, you did Holly Shelter. Didn't you guys do something?
Yeah, and then there was the road was totally out, like a 20-foot ditch of water, and we got chased out by the landowner.
That's true. We got a story to tell about that one, and nobody got shot.
At Dirty Kansas, I rode past the "Do Not Go" sign. That dog that chased me down the road. Remember that? I have videos. I got stranded in a cornfield.
So you would go with I don't want to say.
I'm always going to venture. Obviously,
okay. You're just saying I'm going to go wrong. It's
I've always gone wrong. There's other instances where I've gone wrong, and I'll tell all the stories, but they're always good stories.
I worked long and hard on how to actually phrase that when it was okay. It was you could follow it, because the thought was in my head about this or that, this or that, but I'm glad it worked out. Okay, last item. In your water bottle, cold water in the winter or like tepid warm water in the summer?
That's gross.
Oh man, yeah, that's gross.
Yeah, but cold water in the winter. Ooh.
Yeah, but
Doesn't bother me. I'm hot enough, man. I'm sweating my ass off no matter what. So cold water never scared me. So I would go cold water. Yeah, I've had the tepid water. I've had the sulfur water. I've had all that. And I'd rather some cold water.
Something gross about that warm water in the summer. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't taste right, and it almost hits your stomach like. And kind of turns it a little bit. So, Joey, I think I know where you're going to go, but I'll go ahead and give you the opportunity to answer.
Oh, definitely the cold water. That warm water's nasty. That warm water we had on the CNO that tasted like the Potomac.
I think I could still taste that. I can still
had some of that. Yeah.
But warm hot water sucks.
Yeah. Well, that wraps us up this week, guys. Thank you once again, Pat, for joining us. It's always a pleasure to catch up. I'm so glad we ran into each other at Philly Bike Expo and got to, even though we were behind masks, it still felt good.
Yeah, I love listening to you guys. I'm always like, oh man, I got to go out and ride with these guys. I got to, thinking about all the good times you guys talk about and hearing about new rides and new events and stuff like that. It's always great.
Let's go do some trespassing together.
Let's go do some trespassing.
We can do so. Man, I've told you guys. I think there's a Lulac MVP or VIP ride that has to happen where we do some Pat secret stash, and we can do some finding some good spots that are a little bit off the beaten path. Let's say that.
That sounds fun. Hey, Joe, you got anything else before we shut it down?
Nope.
Okay. One more time, folks. Remember to visit cutawayusa.com and check out. This week, I'm encouraging everybody to go on over there, check out all their gear, but also on the website, check out their little library of gravel routes right in their backyard down in Virginia. It's kind of a cool little feature on a website for a company that's doing e-commerce that you don't see very often. So make sure you go check that out.
Code word gravel15, all capital letters.
Yep. Discount code gravel15. Get you 15% off if you missed the 20% off site-wide sale for the holiday. So check that out. Thanks, everybody, for listening to this episode of Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt. If you want to support the podcast, folks, the best way to do that is to pop on over to your podcast player of choice, drop us a 5-star rating, and give us a good review.
Or a proper review if we're only 2-star worthy.
Yeah, I'll invite that.
Yeah.
I'll allow it because you
can't get better.
Exactly. So I'm going to say you don't get better if you don't hear what you're doing wrong, right? It's just true. And Joey, how can folks get in touch with us?
Our website is at graveltraveldirt.com. Our Instagram is at MidAtlanticGTD.
Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt is recorded this week from right here in Joey's kitchen all the way up to somewhere outside of Philadelphia in a place in Pennsylvania that I probably can't pronounce the name of.
I say Wyncote.
Wyncote. Got it. I got it.
Yeah.
Thanks for riding along.
I'm going to ask you to spell Wyncote, but yeah, Wyncote.
Can I take a guess? Can I take a guess? I'm going to say, so it's Wyncote?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Wyncote. Anywhere close?
Excellent work.
Was that right?
Excellent work. You didn't hear my clapping? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, excellent work on Wyncote. Yeah, some Welsh people named this a long time ago when they were fighting with the Scots down the street in Glenside.
I do my homework, y'all.
You are SMRT smart.
Thanks for riding along, everybody. Until next time, do good, be nice, go slow, and respect others.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.